There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
Hello, it is us, right there, us, Fat Jack's Comicrypt. As some people refer to us, the Latchkey Manifesto. And if you don't know what that means, neither do I. No. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. You guys are so bright. You just emanate such attention that I have to wear sunglasses. I mean, you guys are blinding in your sexiness and in your beauty. And I thank you all for making Al and I even uglier standing next to you. I mean, just gorgeous. Anyway, thank you again for joining us, because we are here, as always, to get on our hands and knees and beg you to buy comic books. No, as always, we're here to talk comics. We're here to sell comics. We're here to just enjoy this art form, enjoy this medium, and enjoy one another's company. So as always, welcome. Some of you might have seen us before. So I apologize as we dovetail into business. Okay? So with that said, as always, let me get I hurt my knee or my leg this week, so I need my stool a little bit more than normal. So here we go. So first of all, let us get through the business before we start claiming stuff and everything like that. So if you're able to see the books and everything, please be patient with us. We need to get through this as quick as possible. Because again, just like with a new issue, you never know when your first the show is somebody's first. That's what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so with that said, the way this works is we're going to talk about comics. We have spotlight books. We have story bundles. That's probably what we're going to pretty much focus on for most of the show. If we run out of ideas, maybe we can do variants or sale books or whatever. So if anyone is interested in purchasing or claiming any of the books or any of the items that we have here tonight, please hit us up in the chat. Now, again, we always say this, be as specific as possible. And if you genuinely want to claim and purchase the book, acknowledge that that's what you're interested in doing. If you just are interested in the book because it's cool, be like, yo, hey, that's a cool book. Or if you have questions about it, please acknowledge that you have actual questions. Because again, it's first come, first serve. So we have to be as clear as possible, because sometimes 3 or 4 people might try to claim a book. And again, Kyle, hey Kyle, how you doing, man? Our Hall of Famer producer. I'm already putting you in the Hall of Fame of live stream producers for some reason. He's got a nice little timestamp list. So we try to be as fair as possible. Obviously, if we have extra copies of certain books, we'll let people know. Try to give people, again, we want to get these books in your hands more than anything. So we want to make this as easy as possible. With that said, if you are in the Philadelphia area, which is where we exist in this thing called life, is here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Center City, Philadelphia to be exact. So if you are in the Philadelphia area and you claim or purchase anything tonight, we will have it here on hold for you. You can stop by at any time and pick it up. If you are closer to our Oakland, New Jersey shop, we'll ship them over there for you to pick up. Good as gold. But if you are outside of the area and you claim or purchase anything tonight, we're going to need to get your contact information so we can ship books to you. So the way we do that is we have ourselves a little email. This email is fjccshow@gmail.com. It's right down there in the little chyron. Al, I say that I also check it, but Al is really the guy who takes care of all that. Thank Al for his great shipping and it gets out on time and all that kind of stuff. That's my boy here.
Any problems, it's on me.
Yeah, it's on him. And if you have any complaints or anything like that, yell at him, not me, okay? I'm a guy who wears sunglasses inside. I obviously will not pay attention to people complaining about shipping. Okay, again, fjccshow@gmail.com. Hit us up with the contact information. Al will be in touch with you. We'll talk about shipping. Again, let's not belabor this point. Right now, we say about $7 shipping, but as Al is experiencing, we're learning. It's hard to have there's
no flat rate for shipping, obviously. And with the books, there's weight fluctuations, and the post office just kind of makes it up as they go along now. Because there's extremely, we're shorthanded. They are extremely shorthanded.
Extremely.
But we will. I mean, for right now, for you guys, the cost is $7. I've shipped books. I mean, Mr. Lime got some books. It was like, I don't know, $15, but It is what it is. We're only charging $7 right now. That is obviously going to change in the future. But
and again,
for tonight, you get $7 shipping.
Right on. So again, we'll ship books. We got to get contact information. Hit us up in the email.
Yeah, you got something up there for you, buddy.
Satan's in the chat. Oh my God! Thank God I wore my sunglasses because the moment he shows up, it is like the North Star in the sky calling us forth. Hey, buddy, how you doing, man? As always, it was a pleasure talking to you this weekend.
I miss you, Zane, and you should come in on Wednesday morning instead.
Yeah, when you're working in King of Prussia.
Can't call in sick to come say hi to me?
No, right. Well, welcome everybody. As always, I know I say that a lot, but again, we are greatly appreciated of all this. Yes, let's talk about what just popped up down there. If for whatever reason you are unable to hit us up in the chat and you're interested in any of the books or items that we're talking about tonight, or if you have any questions, you can give us a phone call here at 215-963-0788. Cool. Let me think. Is there any other business that we've talked about? Our email for shipping information.
Yeah, I think you hit it all.
We got the number. So I think we're pretty good.
I think we're good for now.
Okay.
We got everything checked off.
Okay, good, cool. Just making sure. I'm trying to get a little bit better at this so we can get through this a lot quicker. Even though I really like the sound of my own voice, so I just keep talking like a jackass. But with that said, if anyone has any questions, hit us up right now because we are going to start to get into the comic books that are behind me at the moment. So, first up, we're going to talk about some of our spotlight books hanging out right up here. The first ones we're going to do is right up here on the top shelf, just so, because I know a few people are joining us from our local show who follow us over to the Experience. And so a couple of these books you've already seen, but I want to give everyone who might be joining us for the first time here a shot or at least a little information. So the first one we're going to talk about real quick is the Eternals issue number 2. Now this is the Jack Kirby era Eternals. Again, there's a movie coming out, all that good fun. The thing that makes this book unique, special, whatever you want to call it, it's the first appearance of Ajax, who is an Eternals character, who is definitely in the movie. I should really look up who was actually cast as them, just for the sake of information. But the thing that always interests me for some reason about this issue, because for some reason I thought that these characters were introduced earlier, maybe in like Fantastic Four or something. But no, I was wrong. The Celestials, the great paragons of cosmic Marvel, were actually first introduced in this issue, Eternals number 2. Now, this is a very fine minus copy. We have it here at $30. All right. Right next to that is a little bit more Kirby because you can never have enough Kirby. I don't care what anyone says, never enough Kirby. So this here is Devil Dinosaur number 1. First appearance of Moon Boy, but more importantly, first appearance of Devil Dinosaur. For anyone who doesn't know, Devil Dinosaur has had a resurgence as he is the co-star of the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur book. Now, for anyone who's not aware, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur are going to get their own cartoon. So it's very possible that this first appearance of Devil Dinosaur here might be hot before you know it. This is a very fine plus copy. It is a gorgeous copy, and we have it here for $30. Next to that, again, because you can never have enough Kirby, is a Stone Cold classic. Here we are for 1972. This is the Demon #1. It is a fine plus copy at $60. It is the first appearance of Etrigan, who is the demon, and it is the first appearance of Morgane Le Fay, who is in DC lore the daughter of Madame Xanadu, as well as the evil sister of King Arthur and Merlin and all that craziness. But anyway, this is a $60 book at fine plus. All right, so boom. Did a little Kirby here, especially with Zane in the chat. How can I not talk about Kirby, right, buddy? I mean, if I had some Boy Commandos, I'd bring them out right now. Actually, I do have some Boy Commandos. Where are my Boy Commandos? Where's my little boys?
That's what you want to grow me.
So let me just throw these out real quick. Now, just to be clear, we are not talking about original Boy Commandos. Original Boy Commandos are obviously around the war era. It is early Kirby. But when Kirby came back to DC in the 70s, DC put out some reprints of some of the original Boy Commandos comics. And here we go, a Simon and Kirby special. This is Boy Commandos #1. This is a fine copy at $6. It reprints some of the earliest issues of the Boy Commandos.
So these are not, there's no new stories in that at all? It's like a Marvel Tales kind of
thing? Yeah, it's sort of like it was just DC repackaging to take advantage of Kirby coming back. And they had, some of these old, I think even, no, I don't want to talk out of turn. I was going to start speculating and guessing, but, you can't believe everything you see on the internet. And I don't want to, add to that. So, yeah, no, but
I was going to say, did Kirby ever do New Boy Commandos? If anybody knows,
actually, I don't know.
I know because the Newsboy Legion shows up, obviously, in the Fourth World.
In the Fourth World stuff, yeah.
Boy Commandos, did he ever revisit that? Does anybody know?
Great question. Chat, does anyone know? Did Kirby ever do any new Boy Commandos? God, man. Wording.
Apologies to Kirby.
What's the Archer? Phrasing. Oh, man. Rest in peace, Jessica Walters.
Are there any Boy Commandos left to do?
Speaking of which, here is issue #2, a Simon and Kirby special, Boy Commandos #2. They get a stray cat to eat Nazis. And hey, if there was a better way to get rid of Nazis, I don't know if there's a better way than a stray cat eating them. So there you go. This is a fine plus copy at $8. All right, so there we are. So we got a little Kirby in us, okay? Yes, phrasing, I know.
Thank you to Mr. Verrucci for picking up the showcase.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much. Oh, you wanted that first appearance of Hawk and Dove. Because again, for anyone that didn't see, we just had Mr. Verrucci. He just claimed showcase number 75 from, I think, 1968, 1968, which is the first appearance and the origin of the character Hawk and Dove, the team Hawk and Dove, the duo. Now, again, it is the original Hawk and Dove because Don Hall there, he was murdered or he was killed in the DC event invasion in the 80s, which led to the new Hawk and Dove series where they introduced a female Dove. And for anyone who has watched the DC Universe or HBO Max series Titans, they have introduced Hawk and Dove, and obviously Dove was the female version. It's the better version. It just is. Especially when we're talking about duality and all that kind of stuff. So thank you very much. All right. So moving on. Let's get to a few more. Now let's step down to a couple books we've had in the past before, but I want to give another little spotlight to let people know. Here we have Yosagi Yojimbo. This is issue #1. Just to be clear, it is not his first appearance. His first appearance was in Anthro. So, what was that? We always talk about, we can never remember. Yeah, right? if Lord Howard Hurts is out there.
Amiibo, something like that. Albino.
All right. So again,
albedo.
What do you think that stands for?
Oh, it's like I don't think it stands. I think it's a name or something.
Just a name.
It might not be
weird.
albedo.
Okay, either way. But again, this is a fine copy. I would love for it to be in slightly better condition, but we have a lot of like wear. So some of the color has been kind of worn off. There's a little.
Hold on.
Yes.
I'm sorry. No,
yes.
So this is not albedo.
No.
This is Usagi Yojimbo #1.
#1, which is the first solo series that Usagi was ever in.
We don't have. I think it's albedo #4 is the first appearance.
Yeah, and it's like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And in fact, this book has a ton of value. Yeah. It's just that I can't really go there even further than the $60 that we have it at because, like I said, it is in fine condition. But there's some stresses along the spine here, and we have some wear where some of the color in the cover is a little worn off, a little shelf wear. But again, for anyone who doesn't know, Netflix throws money around to everybody, it seems. And they are developing an animated series of Usagi Yojimbo. And to be very honest with you, we talk about a lot of speculation books here, and we talk a lot about like possible projects that are coming out. And I'll be straight, I would love a good Usagi Yojimbo animated series. It is an amazing series. I wish more people have read it or is more accessible to them.
He's doing the series.
He's a major part of it. He is not just let's give you an executive producer and a little bit of a check. He is Stan Sakai, just so we're clear, the creator, the writer, and the artist of Usagi Yojimbo is playing a creative role in the series, which gives me a lot of hope that it's going to turn out really well. Plus, also, to be very honest with you, his style translates into a really good animated style that I don't think should cost so much money that it can't be a series that lasts for a good period of time.
Just to kind of roll back, there's a little confusion in the chat.
Yes.
Mr. Williams, did you want the Usagi Yojimbo? Because he said he posted it by accident. So
okay.
If you want it, it's yours. If not, just let me know. It's no big deal.
Yeah, no problem, man. We're just, I don't even know. Let me just make sure. Okay, so while we work on that, no problem. Let's move on to a book. Oh, speaking of Mr. Williams, dude, I still do not have a good answer for you in terms of what's the best route to get your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles appraised. We'll have to talk about that a little bit more. The few people I really wanted to ask, I still haven't seen, and I can't really contact them until they come into the shop. But once that happens, like I said, I will try to get that information to you because I'm actually very fascinated to see what happens to those books. And in fact, dude, I don't want you to like bring them here or anything, but if you could ever like take pictures or something, I would love to see them.
You get a nice flash on.
Yeah, because I've actually never seen original first printing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, #2. I've never seen them in person. And again, I don't even think I've really seen them in a photo. So anyway, I'm just throwing that out there. And speaking of which, here we have Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue #6. It is a very fine plus copy at $40, and it is the first appearance of Leatherhead. That is the alligator, crocodile, whatever you want to call it. Sort of anti-hero villain, but then turns into like a pal. But anyway, there we go. That is a Tales of the Teenage Ninja Turtles, issue #6. Very fine plus copy at $40. Do we have any questions about that?
Well, Mr. Barucci is going to claim it if no one else will. So if anybody wants this, I'll leave it up there.
Just leave it up there just in case.
By the end of the show, then yeah.
Yeah, if anyone's interested, then let us know.
Can you know what? I'm sorry. So Fred missed out. Can you just run through the condition of the Usagi?
Oh, real quick. The condition is fine, okay? And what really gives it that fine is, I just want to be clear, there is stress along the bottom here of the spine, a little bit of denting, and there is wear up here where some of the color has been worn off. But outside of that, the rest of the book is quite gorgeous. The spine, except for that area down here, looking good. Staples are nice. The color is really sweet. No fading or anything like that. Again, that's just all shelf wear, things of that nature. Pages are all good. No real yellowing or anything of that nature. It's a quality copy. But again, it's a book that is really going up in value right now. And this is even before the series even happens. Okay, this is still just people But again, this is like
those books hold. They held value before the show was ever mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, he's an iconic character from the 80s.
Absolutely. I mean, come on, man. Who didn't have the Usagi Yojimbo Ninja Turtles toy? And then like the Space Usagi toy and stuff. They were some of the best toys. Remember Samurai Usagi toy?
That's the one I had.
Oh, dude, that was so. He had the helmet.
He had like the armor and everything.
The armor, yeah. Oh, so cool. So cool.
Yeah, that was the only one.
Yeah, so 1986, people. 1986.
So real quick to Mr. Williams, if you do end up going to a show where Kevin Eastman is, his people will look at it for you. This is from Kyle, our producer. They won't do a value, but they'll give you grading info. So if that's an option, he says he has an appointment in New York to take care of it. So we'll see what happens.
Cool. We'll see what happens. But again, Mr. Williams, I just want to let you know we are looking into it because I'm absolutely fascinated by what happens to your possessions.
The Usagi show is in TBD.
TBD. All right, cool.
And thank you to Mr. Marucci. I guess you're going home with this one.
All right, there we go. So now right next to that, we're sticking in the 80s a little bit and into cartoons. And we'll give a little bit of show here to the 1985 adaptation of the cartoon and toy line. This is Marvel Comics, but this is their children's toy, imprint, Star Comics. This is Thundercats issue number 1, the first appearance of the Thundercats, first appearance of Mum-Ra, all that kind of stuff. This is a very fine copy at $40. There we go. All right. And last but not least, and when I say that, I only mean it's sitting next to the Thundercats, even though it has no segue potential because they have no connection to each other whatsoever. And we are going to step back into this is where it gets muddy. Is this early Silver Age? Is this still considered a little bit of Golden Age? I obviously do. I mean, it's Silver Age. It's 1959. It is a 10-cent cover price. We have a very good minus copy of Batman 124 for $100. Now, this is the era of Batman, the Silver Age Batman, which is infamous because the reaction to the Batman character that occurred in the 80s and really coalesced in the 90s and has pretty much been the version of the character we've had ever since. The grim, the gritty, the dark Batman and everything. It was all in reaction to the 50s, 60s, and a teeny bit of the 70s until Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil came around and made him a little bit more of a sexy playboy and all that kind of stuff. But it is the goofy, weird, surreal era of Batman where he time traveled, fought aliens, fought ghosts, fought dinosaurs. I mean, it was lunacy. But the great thing is, for anyone who never read the Grant Morrison Batman run from about 10, 15 years ago, the wonderful thing about it is Morrison created a way to kind of explain, to kind of maintain the continuity of Batman, but to actually make all of those really weird, surreal stories be canon. A la Batman was tripping a lot. Batman was in a lot of sensory deprivation. Batman was on so much peyote. But yeah, so that was just a fun little thing. I liked because most writers from the 80s and 90s and everything, looking at you, Chuck Dixon, they pretty much just ignore this entire era of Batman. But my boy Grant, George, you came through and you made it all make sense. So there we go.
So that giant seed with the petrifying gas doesn't make another appearance in Chuck Dixon's
Batman? You mean the red pill oyster? No. It showed up in a Reddit subthread. I'm pretty sure a bunch of people created a philosophy to demonize other people based upon this cover. I mean, if that doesn't explain, I mean, what else but off the internet does things petrify and horror? So there we go. Batman 124 from 1959. Very good minus at $100. Okay, now we're going to step into the front row here, which I'm very excited about. Two of the issues are written by a writer that I love, Steve Gerber, one of the all-timers. The other one is a Steve Gerber character whose title gave birth to a character that's really big online and in comics right now. All right, so let's go in order here. So the first thing we have up here is Howard the Duck, issue number 1 from 1976. All right, so let's take a little look there. There's Howard with a sword. There's Beverly, looking a little Red Sonja-ish. Obviously, Frank Brunner doing the cover and the interior artwork. He meets up with Spider-Man, all that kind of good fun. Now, this is not, for anyone who doesn't know, Howard the Duck #1 is not the first appearance of Howard the Duck. That was a, oh man, is it an issue of Fear? Savage Tales was the first appearance of Man-Thing.
He first appeared in Man-Thing, or his Adventures into Fear.
I think in one of those, yeah, for anyone, let us know, first appearance of Howard the Duck, I think it's Fear. But anyway, but this is the first solo series of Howard the Duck, and it also was the first appearance of Beverly Switzer, who is the love interest of Howard, who has popped up throughout most of his different series over the years. Though I think maybe in some of the more recent Howard the Duck books, he's become a little bit more. Maybe there's like a new love interest or something. But anyway, that is issue number 6. Just to be clear, that is issue 6. Okay.
So we don't have issue 4, Mr.
Just be clear that let's just make sure we're claiming, because I think issue 4 might be the first appearance of the Rat King. That is not this one, because those are the two. There's 2 tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that have the most value. One is the first appearance of Leatherhead, and the other one is the first appearance of the Rat King, primarily because both of those characters reappeared in the comic, but also I'm pretty sure got toys. And again, if you got a toy, then your first appearance is then he has taken issue 6. All right,
it was Adventure into Fear 19.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, so anyway, so Howard the Duck. Now, just to be clear, this is a Fine Plus copy. Primarily, it's mostly publication kind of like creases, just weird creases. The book's actually in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of wear here, shelf wear, because you have a little bit of white on the spine. Staples look good. Paper's pretty nice and everything like that. But again, it's a Fine Plus at $36. But again, it's Steve Gerber, it's Frank Brunner. It is one of my all-time favorite series ever. And again, I'm not going to ever sit here and tell anyone it's a good movie. And in fact, I really don't want to rewatch it. But as a kid, man, I loved me Howard the Duck, the movie.
No, that's a good movie. That's a good movie. He reads Play Duck.
He does read Play Duck. And there is some weird interspecies lovemaking going on, It was very progressive.
I mean, of all the Marvel characters. No, never mind.
Okay, so now we're going to move to 2 more Howard the Duck books. But to be clear, they have value not because of Howard the Duck, all right? They have value specifically around the character Gwenpool, all right? For anyone not familiar, I brought this up on other shows before. Gwenpool was created during the run of Gwen Stacy variants. So every Gwen Stacy variant would sort of be Gwen Stacy and a different hybrid or variation of another character. Famously, Gwenum was first introduced on Guardians of Nowhere #1, which we do have here. But that was, so you took Gwen Stacy, mixed her with Venom, boom. And then you got Deadpool's Super Secret Wars, issue number 2, 3, 4, one of those. There was a Gwen Stacy variant where they mixed Gwen Stacy with Deadpool, and she was Gwenpool. And the internet lost their mind. They loved the look of this character. And so Marvel being Marvel, they don't want to leave money on the table. They decided they were going to introduce the character into their actual in-story continuity. And that's where you get Howard the Duck, issue number 1 from 2016. Now, to be clear, this is a variant, but the variant isn't what gives it its value. Its value is purely based around the fact that, technically speaking, this is the first appearance of Gwenpool in comic book continuity. And also, just for the sake of interest, it is also the first appearance of Wolvertini and Shocket Raccoon. Don't ask. But there's some rumors.
They're all getting shelled too.
No, dude, you're not that far off. The MODOK cartoon that Patton Oswalt is developing for Disney Plus, they're going to throw a lot of really weird characters at you, and there's some rumors that 2 of these characters, but that's irrelevant to right now. This book, it's a very fine near mint minus. It's $40, but again, that value all comes around the first appearance in comic books of Gwenpool. And right next to that is the follow-up issue, Howard the Duck from 2016, issue number 2, the second appearance of Gwenpool in continuity. This is also a variant cover, but this variant cover is special because it is the Tom Fowler variant cover where Gwenpool shows up on the cover. So, boom. I think this might be the second time Gwenpool showed up on a cover, but it's definitely her second appearance. It's a very fine New Mint copy at $30. All right, so there we go. So we have our Howard the Duck number 1. We got our Howard the Duck number 1 from 2016, but it's all about Gwenpool, and Howard the Duck number 2, also about Gwenpool. Now, something that I can't imagine most of you being super interested in, but it's a character by Steve Gerber that fits into a little bit of my more weirder existential kind of feelings. I still can't fully tell you what this comic book is about, and I especially can't tell you with Jonathan Lemire's sort of limited series that came out about a decade ago, which was like the second series with this character. We are talking about Steve Gerber's Omega the Unknown. All right, so here we go. This is Omega the Unknown, issue number 1. This is a very fine plus copy at $20. Again, I could sit here for the next hour and a half and try to explain Omega the Unknown. I don't know if I can. I mean, I know I can, but I don't think I could explain it in like an elevator pitch.
Is Letham's the 12 issues that he did, is it connected to that at all?
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it gets more meta,
Okay.
where he is an actual comic book character from the Steve Gerber Omega the Unknown,
Oh, really?
where the characters are reading, but then Omega the Unknown shows up in this little boy, and he's like, wait a minute, you're a comic book character. And then it just gets weirder from there.
Omega the Unknown is not in print and trade.
No. You can't find these. Again, Marvel, I bet you Marvel looks at the character and goes, what the hell is this? And in fact, the only reason a second series got printed was because Jonathan Lemire is a really good novelist. And his debut novel, Fortress of Solitude, which I highly recommend, does a lot with graffiti, hip-hop, and comic books in New York, the boroughs, in the mid-'70s. Coming-of-age story, all that kind of stuff. So I think when Marvel was courting Lemire to do a book for them, they went, who do you want to do? What kind of character you want to do? And Lemire probably went, Omega the Unknown. And Marvel went, who? And they were like, he's like, the Steve Gerber character from the 70s? And Marvel's like, we have a character named Omega the Unknown? Is he? Anyway, I have no idea if that's true or not. But
So, Mr. Williams, you got your Omega. It's a very fine plus at $20. Thank you. To Ashley, we don't have any Friday the 13th or Halloween at the moment, or Jurassic Park. I don't think any X-Files ready to go either. But we can work on that for you. I don't think we have any Friday the 13th.
Well, look, but yeah, let's be very honest. Friday the 13th, or so Jason, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Leatherface, any comics with those characters have become extremely hard to find, to the point where we as a shop have been cleaned out over and over again.
Shout out to Mr. Peterson, because he got a few last time he was in.
Yes. So outside of stumbling upon it, getting a collection that might have some of them in there, I don't know if
we're tapped out right now.
Yeah, we're pretty tapped out. Again, we'll look, because it's the only right thing to do.
X-Files, we definitely have some somewhere.
We do have some X-Files comics. Yes.
I can. We'll figure it out for you. We'll get them to you.
We're working on it, man. Hey, again, we always appreciate it. People go, hey, I'm looking for some of this or some of that. There's no harm in us spending the week looking to see if we have any.
We're gonna do a break right now, and then if everybody can remember to click the bell on your Facebook and YouTube for notifications, it'll help us. And then to click to like or subscribe or thumbs up, whatever you got to do.
Oh yeah, like and subscribe. Do whatever people do on social media.
Yeah,
we don't do.
Yeah, hit me up on my Friendster and we can talk about it.
Ooh, Friendster.
know this has been a difficult time for you. We know you are scared. Here at Regenerist Tech we have developed a safe and effective solution to our worldwide problem. Trust Regenerist. We give you back your life.
Hello? Is anyone out there? Wait, we're live, right?
Yeah, where'd your glasses go?
Oh, I don't know.
He just woke
They
up.
fell. My glasses! Oh, my glasses! Isn't that what Macaulay? No, it's with at the end of My Girl when Macaulay Culkin is dying from all the bees, and the little girl's like, "Where's his glasses?"
That's rough.
Yeah, it's really rough.
Then she kicks him in the face.
Yeah, she definitely kicks him in the face. She's
I got your glasses.
like, there's glasses right here. I bet you that sounded great on the microphone.
How'd that sound, everybody? Shout out to Lord Howard Hertz or Lavis Tilbert, whatever his name is on here. We got some comments on the McDuck.
Yes.
On the Scrooge McDuck. I don't know if he does commissions. If he does, you hit him up in his chat. We'll see. I don't know.
Oh, he's always lurking around somewhere.
Yeah, he'll do something for money.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
He'll do anything for money.
Yeah, you know. Can we use the term? He's a real money worker.
What
happened?
You ruined My Girl for Sam Melendez.
Oh no, sorry Sam, that movie came out over 30 years ago. So sorry I spoiled it. Macaulay Culkin dies at the end from all the bees. Fun times.
He dies at the end of Good Son too.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin actually dies a lot.
Yeah.
Poor bastard. Okay, everyone. Let's do a couple more. I wanted to do from the local show earlier. Here were a couple more spotlight books. I wanted to go through really quickly just to give people who might be joining us for the first time in the experience a little kind of just let them know. Here we go. This is She-Hulk issue number 1. This is when Dan Slott relaunched She-Hulk. They went back to the more sensational She-Hulk style of story, which was a lot more funnier and lighthearted and all that kind of stuff. This is a very fine near mint copy at $8. Okay, there's a lot of speculation and rumors in regards to the Hawkeye Disney Plus series, where they are talking about this character, the Hood, being introduced as a villain in the series itself. This is the first appearance of the Hood. Now, regrettably, this is a fine minus copy, primarily because of the shelf wear. Whenever you have white covers on the shelf hanging out for too long, you get a lot of little smudging and stuff. Plus, we have a little bit of creases down here. So a book that right now is starting to kind of get a little hot. It's got a lot of value to it, even fine minus at $10. It's not asking for much. But again, if this character truly does pop on that Hawkeye show, this book is going to be quite sought after.
Real quick to Ed, thank you, Ed. I'll put those shadows back, but yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get your pop the books he wants.
Cool. All right. Next up was the very infamous hentai cover. For anyone not familiar, obviously hentai is the subgenre of anime that is, let's be honest, it's pornography. With a lot of, let's say, monster tentacles as a stand-in for male genitalia. So this cover, Misty Knight, Black Cat, Colleen Wing, tarantula. They have heaving breasts. There's weird fluids falling into their cleavage. Obviously, this cover was quite an uproar at the time. I still don't understand how someone in Marvel went, yeah, sure, send that out. But the neat thing about this that I was not aware of, the artist that did this, Sana Tanaka, actually is the artist that does a book that is insanely beautiful, Monstrous. So anyways, this is a very fine near mint copy at $10. And again, all of the value is in the controversial cover. All right.
Thank
And
you to Lord Howard Hurts for picking up the hood.
excellent.
And if you are taking commissions, let people know in the chat.
Yes. And then next up is another. Now, the big one for this character, Riri Williams, is Invincible Iron Man from the volume prior to this, issue number 9. That is her actual first appearance. But this book, this issue, is the first appearance in story of her wearing her original red and gold Ironheart armor. Also, it is the issue where Tony Stark coins her name Lionheart. Ironheart, not Lionheart. Lionheart is
A
Van Damme movie. Yeah. Actually, if Ironheart showed up in Lionheart, that would be an awesome movie. She just shows up and just starts shooting everybody with razors. It's like, who are you idiots? Anyway, this is a very fine near mint copy at $15. It's a book that, again, as she becomes bigger and bigger, and who knows? No, actually, I know for a fact she's already been cast to be in her own show, to guest star, who knows? But it's a character that people are sniffing around. So there we are, Invincible Iron Man, issue number 3, the first time Riri Williams wears her original Ironheart armor.
So we were doing the boy commandos. Now we're sniffing around that little girl.
Hey, we're two dudes on the internet. I mean,
what else?
What else do guys do on the internet? You know, the internet's gross, people. Speaking of children, let's talk about the new Champions team, full of children. So here we go. Okay, the Champions obviously is a throwback to the old team in the 70s that had a bunch of characters that Marvel had no idea what to do with and didn't have any of their own titles. So like, let's throw them all together. So you get Hercules, you get Angel, you get Iceman, you get Black Widow, you get Ghost Rider, and they're all hanging out in LA. It's just the strangest team. But now you have the new Champions team. And the new Champions is sort of built out of the same idea. And the idea is we have a bunch of legacy, like teenage characters. Let's get them all together because they can't all have their own solo book. And, let's do it and see what happens. And so the first version of that team is this issue right here. This is a very fine near mint copy at $15. This is the first team appearance of young Cyclops, Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, the Sam Alexander Nova, the Vision, the Vision's daughter, Amadeus Cho as the Hulk, and Miles Morales, Spider-Man. So there we go. That was Mark Waid and Humberto Ramos. Now, next to that is the same issue, okay? But it is a very interesting variant cover. This is the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund variant, illustrated by Mike Allred. This is the Champions team doing the pyramid while the Hulk comes crashing down on them. And if you look at the kind of body type of these 5 characters, and then you look at Amadeus Cho, I'm pretty sure he's going to turn out to be a mass murderer because there was no way he's not breaking the spine of all of these characters. But anyway, this is Champions number 1. It is the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund variant illustrated by Mike Allred. Very fine near mint copy. It's not even out of its polybag. It's a polybag book. It's $15.
Mr. Williams is claiming that Champions number 1. Did you want just the regular cover, Mr. Williams? We have a couple different variant covers for issue 1. So if you don't want any of those, we'll just give you the regular.
So just let us know. But I'm going to move on to the next one. Now, this next one is not a variant of this. So after this volume, obviously for anyone who saw the all new X-Men, which were teenage versions of the X-Men brought from the past to the future. At some point, the characters were removed from the future. So our teenage Scott Summers is now not part of the Champions anymore. So the book was relaunched, Champions #1. Now this one, let's take a look. Now this Champions team is like an army. You not only have Miles Morales, Kamala Khan, you still have Amadeus Cho as the Hulk, but he's not called the Hulk. I think he changed his name to like Brute or Bruiser or Brody or but so you get Miles, Kamala Khan, Amadeus Cho. You also get Riri Williams in her new Ironheart armor. You still get Vision, the daughter of the Vision. You also now get Nadia Pym, the new Wasp. You get the new Power Man, but I think he changes his name. I'm not too sure. Let's think who else is here. You get who is he? Oh, the Falcon. Yes, the Joaquin Torres. He becomes the new Falcon. He's in this team. They also introduce a character, I think, by the name of Blind Spot. No, man. Okay, I don't have my notes with me, but
Bombshell.
Oh, Bombshell's in this team.
Right, so you get Miss Marvel, Spider-Man, Brawn.
Brawn is that's the Hulk.
Vision, Nova, Snowguard, Ironheart, Falcon, Spider-Man, Power Man, Patriot, Wasp, Bombshell, Locust, and Pinpoint.
Pinpoint. Okay.
First appearance of Locust and Pinpoint.
That's right. Okay. All right. So there we go. So you got a whole new Champions team right here. Now, again, it's a very fine near me copy at $6. So again, there's a lot of these characters are becoming quite big. So we'll see what's up.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Pleasure. And right next to that has nothing to do with the Champions, but if there's any possibility the Champions are going to run up against any villain, I hope it's not this guy. And I'm talking about Dr. Doom. Now, this is the first solo series of Dr. Doom. And when I say the first solo series, I mean of like in continuity 616 Marvel Dr. Doom. Okay? So obviously there's Doom 2099, there's all that kind of stuff. But this was the recent series. This is issue #1. But the reason this has a little bit more value than its normal cover is this is a 1 in 25 variant by Simone Bianchi, who is just an unbelievably gorgeous artist. This is a very fine near-mint copy at $20. The first Doom solo series with a 1 in 25 variant by Simone Bianchi. So there we go. All right. Now, next up, we're going to do is, unless anyone has any questions, please hit us up. You know, we can always do that. Yes.
Kyle says Cyclops is the worst.
Okay, dude, Kyle. There's a fight in words, man.
He says
we're gonna get into this.
Is teenage Scott Summers better somehow than all the other Scotts? And then he says hashtag Cyclops is the worst.
Okay, all right. Where are my sunglasses? Because that. Okay, all right.
I mean,
let's have a conversation about misunderstood Scott Summers. Okay, he is one of the most fascinating characters. He is quite damaged. He has abandonment issues. He has other issues that I can't think of right now. I just can't. I mean, his father and mother literally threw the dude out of plane. They're like, take care of your brother, and throw him out. If that is not my childhood, if that was not my mother and father as their whole marriage was falling apart and this and that, they came to me one day and went, okay, figuratively, we are about to throw you out of a plane. Take care of your brother. And I went, wow, just like Scott Summers. He's my hero. Come on, man. Like, all right, I'm not going to defend him anymore. I can't. I don't.
You got some chat words.
Wait, what's going to say? Scott and Jean are the original reality. What? Reality talk? What are you talking about? Toxic couple? What makes them toxic? I mean, like, they sacrifice for one another.
Mr. Williams makes a good point.
What's his point? No, okay.
He dumped his wife and child for his dead ex.
Okay, real quick, man.
I mean,
if your second wife ended up becoming the Goblin Queen too, in fact, that's a great point. Okay, my first stepmother probably has more in common with Madeline Pryor than Jean Grey. My first stepmother stabbed me. I have a scar on my arm where she stabbed me. I wish my father abandoned her and went back to my mother.
There is not a lot of Cyclops love in the chat.
All right. You know what? Go read Grant Morrison's X-Men.
Mr. Hunter, okay. Havoc is the coolest. All right.
Musicals? Oh, Happy.
Okay.
Oh man, Havoc sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Cyclops is lame, and that comes from Brooklyn, so you know it's true.
No. See, and the funny thing was that I expected Gary to join in a lot earlier because Gary hates Cyclops. In fact, some of the most heated Cyclops debates I've ever had were with Gary here at the shop.
Really?
Yeah. Gary, what's your favorite X-Men character again? Just let us know. Okay, while we wait for that, let's talk about a few bundles that we have over here. So again,
Okay, look at that.
what's that?
Segue to cable bundles.
Segue to cable bundles. Actually, yeah, hold on. Why not?
That's what jumped in the chat.
Okay.
So yeah, okay.
Here we go. Cable. Issue 21 through 29. 8 issues. 2 complete story arcs. Now, this is still when Jeff Loeb was doing it. This is also the 2 story arcs in the Cable book that take place after the Age of Apocalypse storyline. So I believe it was Cable issue number 20, where you see like Cable and Professor X, and they're on the cover, and they're both like, "Oh no, what's coming? What's happening?" Well, issue 21 takes place soon after the Age of Apocalypse, where they all come back and they shoot people because Cable has big guns and pouches and stuff like that. And I mean, what else is the point of guns and pouches if not to shoot people? So here's Cable 21 through 29. There you go. Here, look at that gun. Come on. Like, who? What do you got? Look at this outfit. Come on, people. Look at this outfit. What is going on here?
It's got a bunch of pouches.
Dude, look at the pouches. I mean, Ian Churchill, I understand. Look at this knife. There's a huge knife that just kind of, how do you not trip over yourself? And I mean, why do you think the pouches on the biceps are to make the biceps bigger?
It's because they're like, we can't just keep drawing muscles. Let's draw shit that looks like muscles.
Yeah. And I mean, he has the weird backpack. Is that like a communications device? And I don't understand why he has the cod piece. I mean, what's the cod piece for?
That's to hide his gun.
It's hide his real gun.
His love gun.
No, his rifle. This is my rifle. This is my gun. One is for shooting and one is for fun. Name that movie. So anyway, Cables 21 through 29. This is from 1994, 1995. This is a $30 bundle, but we're selling it tonight for $13.
Mr. Williams is going to claim it.
All right.
Out his cable holes.
Cool beans.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
And speaking of large cod pieces, there's one no larger, other than David Bowie and Labyrinth, than the Incredible Hercules.
Can you, Mr. Hunter got it, Full Metal Jacket. Can you show
Good stuff.
Can you show that ridiculous outfit one more time?
Yes. All right. I want to get it where there's a little. Okay, everyone. Let's take a look. I know there's some glare here. Okay, but you get a huge knife that just sort of sits off of his ankle. It looks like he'll trip over it. You get his huge pouches. I don't fully understand how they stay on his thigh unless
I think those are knee pads.
Well, no. Look at those pouches on his thigh. Okay. The only way you would get those pouches to stay on your thigh that tightly is to make them so tight that there'll be no blood flow to your legs. In fact, Cable would probably trip just based on the fact that his feet are numb.
Maybe he's not. Maybe all the pouches are.
And what is this? Are these purple brass knuckles? I mean, what is going on with this outfit?
Maybe it's like a pair of jeggings and it's just sewn in. Like it's not an actual pouch. It just looks like a pouch.
You know what's funny? When you look at this outfit and the design of it, it makes you think that whoever created this character was a really bad artist. Like,
Mr. Rayo. What's up, Mr. Rayo?
Hey, Rayo, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Look how small his feet are. At least Ian Churchill could sort of draw feet. Anyway, Cable bundle.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Now we're moving on to Incredible Hercules. Here we go. Post World War Hulk, where the Hulk arrived from his planet and he beat everybody up. For a little bit, the Incredible Hulk title was renamed The Incredible Hercules. And that is this bundle right here. We have Incredible Hercules from 2007, issue 112 to 116. Again, it took over the numbering from Incredible Hulk Volume 2, which was very famous for being the Bruce Jones era. Well, first it started out as the John Byrne, Ron Garney, and then Bruce Jones came on for a little bit, and it became more like the TV show. Not enough Hulk for some people's tastes, but inevitably it led to Greg Pak's a very famous Hulk run where you got the Planet Hulk and all that great story, which inevitably led to World War Hulk, and Hulk disappeared or what have you, and Incredible Hercules took over the titling. So that's where you get issue 112 through 116. It's a complete story arc. Look, he even fights an Eternal. Cool. So it's a $15 bundle, but we're selling it for $6. And soon after that storyline was the next big storyline, which tied into Secret Invasion. Now, this is when Hulk joined up with the God Squad to go after and fight the God of the Skrulls. That was sort of its Secret Invasion tie-in. Because if anyone doesn't know, Secret Invasion is the storyline where the Skrulls had already sort of invaded the Earth, and we were now finding out how screwed we really were. So anyway, this is Incredible Hercules 117 to 120. This is a complete story arc. Look, he fights the Skrull God, who looks a little like the Super Skrull. Anyway, this is a $12 bundle, but we're selling it for $5.
Thank you. Sam's going to grab them, but Sam, we got 3 different Hercules bundles, so which one do you want?
So let me do the third Hercules bundle, and then we'll... So they're all in order, pretty much. Yeah, in fact, I think it's a continuous...
Is it the full run altogether?
It's not the full run, because there's a... Right after this one, there were a couple issues I wanted to do a full run, but I wasn't able to. But anyway, this is the storyline that takes place soon after the Secret Invasion. This is the Love and War storyline. This is Incredible Hercules from 2008. This is issue 121 to 125. Again, it's a complete story arc. It's a 5-part Love and War story. You get a bunch of ladies. If there's one thing Hercules has done, is spread around herpes. Hercules, herpes, they go hand in hand. Anyway, this is a $15 bundle. We're selling for $6.
Shout out to Sam. He's taking them all.
All right, Sam. Good stuff, buddy.
Mr. Melendez. To Ashley, we don't have the first issue of The Oracle. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that book. Yeah. Now, here's a fun little title that most people are not aware of. This is from back in the 80s. Marvel witnessed what DC was doing in terms of English, Scottish writers. They were poaching and stuff like that. I don't know the full origin of why they created their own UK imprint, but we still got Marvel UK, which gave us lots of forgettable characters. But one character that is not forgettable is our little boy, Death's Head. Now, this is the original Death's Head. This isn't the super cool, I'm the Terminator, and I'm super muscular. That was Death's Head 2, which really blew up in the 90s. People loved Death's Head 2. Now the character has just disappeared. But this is the original Death's Head, where he guest starred with a bunch of Marvel characters. You get a lot of early Brian Hitch art. For anybody who doesn't know who Brian Hitch is, The Authority, The Ultimates, recently with Justice League, things of that nature. Brian Hitch, cinematic artist, all that kind of stuff. He started out with the Marvel UK imprint. So this is issue number 1 through 9. It is a full story arc. I wish I had a couple of the last issues to have like the full series, but alas, we did not. But still, it's the first 9 issues. I believe this series was from like 1987, 1988, sometime around there. But this is a $27 bundle, but we're selling it tonight for $12.
So, okay, so hey, we're going to take a commercial after this.
Already? Wow.
Shout out to Mr. Williams for Hercules. That's very clever.
Hercules, dude, I wish I thought of that. Good one for you, man.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
And for anybody interested, you can check out Kyle's show this week. He learned the whole Marvel UK origin from Danny Fingeroff on one of his shows. So Kyle, hit up what show that was, and because I'm actually kind of curious.
Yeah, Kyle, man, talk about some synchronicity. Yeah, hit us up, man. We would love to know. In fact, I might even have a bundle or two of a couple more Marvel UK books. We'll try to pull out after our, on the other side of our break.
So to Lord Howard Hurts, we do have issue 9 in this bundle.
Yes, it's issue 1 through 9.
You can pay for the whole bundle and get issue 9. We'll try and find you an issue 9 that's not bundled. And we're going to commercial.
Oh, commercial time.
Do you like ghost stories? I hope so. My name is Lawrence, a husband and a father. In life, I was a professor of religious literature and history. If I was still alive, I guess I'd still be all of those things. But I'm not. I'm dead. Like I said, ghost story. Believe me, I never imagined I'd be here, helping others heal in the afterlife. So where is here? This is the scene. It's the middle place where souls must confront the traumas of their past. Here I lead souls away from their demons that haunt them. I must also defend these lost souls from others who would prey on them. To do this, I use the power of the Staff of Truth to help them break free. It isn't easy. Clearly, they need help and hope, and that's where I come in. I am a guide of souls. I'm the shepherd.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
Bam, 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 bam. Oh man, the music went away. I look like a real idiot with no music.
To Lord Howard Hurts, we got you your number 9.
Oh,
$2.50.
All right, cool. You sure you don't want to buy the bundle?
I mean, the bundle's 12, so you know. And then Duke had a question about this right as we went to commercial.
Okay, Duke. Okay, so ask the question, but I'll just rattle off a little bit of information. This was the very first Champions #1 that had the new sort of like teenage characters. This was from, I think, 2016 or so. Don't hold me to that, but it was pretty recent. This was when you had young Scott, who's super cool, and everyone else is an idiot that doesn't agree. You got Sam Alexander, Nova, you got your Miles, you got your Viz Vision, you got your Kamala Khan, and you get your Totally Awesome Hulk, who will later be renamed Brawn. That's Amadeus Cho's Hulk. But the thing that makes this book a little bit, again, it's the same price as the non-variant cover. It's a very fine near mint, $15. But this was a special little variant for, now again, the glare is even worse because not only is it in a bag and board, but the book is actually in a poly bag. It is the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund variant cover by Mike Allred. And it's the cover where the Hulk is about to fall on the pyramid and break everybody's back. So even though it looks like it's real fun and lighthearted, the second issue variant that was also created but never released is when the Hulk is laying down, belly flopped, and there's a lot of gore and viscous blood and fluid just dripping all underneath it. It's a very dark, gory cover, and Marvel was probably very smart for not releasing that cover. In fact, that's probably one of the rarest variants of all time.
Thank you, Duke.
Thanks, Duke. All right, everyone. So before we move on, we got a bunch of spotlights here that are pretty much primarily predicated on Avengers books and a very specific era of Avengers. But before we get to those, I want to do a few more bundles over here, specifically because they kind of coincide with some of the things we've been talking about. So next to this Death's Head bundle here, we have another Marvel UK book. Now, this was a 4-issue limited series from 1994, and this is called Death Wreck. Yeah, say that 5 times. Death Wreck, Death Wreck, Death Wreck, Death Wreck. I mean, it's foolish. Anyway, he's really big. He's muscular. He's got weapons. He has like exhaust fans. He's got the biggest shoulder pad I've ever seen in my entire life. He would have looked really cool in 95 or Working Girl. That's definitely the kind of secretary you want to see. I have no idea what the conceit of this miniseries was. Death's Head got mixed with, I don't know, a big stapler or something. Anyway, at some point, Deathstroke probably fights a bunch of Marvel characters because Marvel UK was very prone to just throwing Marvel characters into a Marvel UK book. Speaking of which, you have here 2 bundles that constitute the entire series of Hell's Angel, but I guess at some point, kind of like the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, some whiny person whined about Hell being in the title, so they changed Hell's Angel to Dark Angel. So this is a Marvel UK character, once called Hell's Angel, but it inevitably became Dark Angel. Not to be confused with the James Cameron, Jessica Alba show. Anyway, and just like I was talking about how Marvel UK books just seem to throw Marvel characters in, there's a lot of X-Men in this series. Now, this first bundle is issue 1 through 8 from 1992. Retails for $24, but we're going to sell it for $9. And then, if you want to complete the set, here we have Dark Angel 9 through 14. Retails for $18, but we're selling it for $7. So there we go. Now, admittedly, I think there are more X-Men characters in the first bundle than the second bundle, but if you buy both, you can find out and then tell us next time.
Mr. Hunter's going to take Hell's Angel.
All right.
And when you get a chance, Zanin would like to know about Avengers number 53.
Yes. Okay. So
if you want both bundles, Mr. Hunter just hit us up. Let us know. But you got Hell's Angel. Sure.
In fact, I'll make you a deal, buddy.
No, that's fine. There you go. You get both. That's fine. 2 for 1.
Okay, sure.
2 for 1. He's a good customer. He comes in every week.
Yeah,
Picks his stuff up on time.
You're right. Oh, and by the way,
bundles for $9.
By the way, that Galactus pop figure with the little Silver Surfer, awesome.
You bought the Galactus pop figure.
Yeah.
He comes in here super fresh every time, super fly, makes us look really bad. So
yeah, he really does make us look like a bunch of sloppy.
He really is just very sharp for dressing. Brand new jacket, brand new hat, crisp sneaks every time.
Man, I was with the headphones. We're like, hey, Mr. Hunter. He's like, don't talk to me, man. I'm still listening to my.
I mean, I've been wearing this hoodie for like 3 months straight.
Real quick, Zanin, what we
wanted number 53. He was interested in the price and the grade of 53.
Shit. I don't have the grade. It was priced at $22.
Was the price out of Overstreet?
I imagine it was because it looks like it was a Jersey book that Mike brought over.
Oh, is this? Okay, yeah.
This is Avengers issue number 53. It's the Avengers versus the X-Men. While Angel is, by the way,
53. How much is it? I'm sorry.
It's $22.
So it's like a very good plus.
Very good plus. Okay, but I want to comment. I don't know if anyone can see that, but let's look at the Angel's costume at this time. He's got a yellow kind of leotard. He's got red spandex, knee-high blue boots. He's got some strange, like, red suspenders and a blue, like, what is that outfit? Like, what were they thinking at the time in this era of the X-Men? So strange. Anyway, this was the era that would inevitably lead up to the Kree Skrull War and all that kind of stuff. Zanin, was this Roy Thomas era Avengers at the time? Let us know. So this is 53.
Oh, he's going to grab it.
Oh, excellent, man.
Thank you, Zanin.
Okay.
2 chats.
So Zanin brought us over to the Avengers. Let's talk about the Avengers. And then at some point, we'll get back over to bundles. Because this is a free-flowing show. We have no idea what we're doing. I really hurt my leg when I ran into a fire hydrant that was literally in the middle of the sidewalk. And so I lost a day of prep. And I had no idea what we were going to do tonight. So you are watching us make it up. And in fact, I believe some people like it better when we make it up as we go.
It was a Roy Thomas.
Roy Thomas. Thank you.
Mr. Lyon wants to know why a character with wings would need suspenders.
Me too. Like, look up. Like, what? I'm trying to think what era. Okay, so it's the post-Stan Lee, Jack Kirby era of the X-Men. It's when they got new costumes. I'm pretty sure it's the first time they got individual costumes instead of like the black and yellow or maybe the blue and yellow uniforms that they had before. It's when Beast, pre-blue fur, he's got the blue and red outfit. Scott gets his first classic like blue and yellow. Marvel Girl, Jean Grey, she gets her first classic green dress. Iceman's just Iceman. And then Angel gets one of the ugliest outfits I've ever seen in my life.
It looks like those old school, like high school wrestling uniforms.
Yes! In fact, that's exactly
like Slater used to wear.
Like Slater. Oh my God, dude. Man, Slater, dude. Anyway, I don't know what to say. All right, so here we go. So let's be a little quick as possible because I actually don't know enough about these issues to really talk with any sincerity about what's going on here. So let's just roll with it. So here we go. We have Avengers issue number 49 with a cover of Quicksilver holding the Scarlet Witch, and Magneto has puppet strings, and Hawkeye and Wasp and Goliath are like reaching out to them. So this is a $19 issue.
So that's like a fine minus. That's a little closer to fine.
Fine minus. Does it know anything significant about the issue? No. Okay.
Magneto
all right.
cover story.
Okay. So let's move on. So this is Avengers issue number 56. Death Be Not Proud. You have Captain America crying over the dead body of Bucky. It's a $27 book.
That's a fine. And that's actually kind of interesting. In this one, you get a Zemo appearance, and then the story explains how Captain America became imprisoned in the ice.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know if that's the first.
Did we not know that until then?
I guess it was never mentioned.
Okay. All right. Now we move on to Avengers issue number 72, where you get the character Scorpio. Well, technically, yeah, Scorpio. Yeah.
This is the first Zodiac.
Oh, this is the first appearance of Zodiac?
It is.
Dude, it's a very convoluted sort of characters and story, but I always really liked the Zodiac characters. You even get a little guest appearance with Captain Marvel here. You even get Yellow Jacket, pre-domestic violence. Hawkeye is now Goliath, and he likes to wear less clothes. You still have your red and yellow Vision. Fun time, $18.
$18. It's like a fine plus.
Fine plus. Okay. All right. Moving on, we have the Avengers issue number 76, The Day the Earth Exploded, where they all fight Archon, a very random character who is sort of Conan, except he has lightning bolts or something.
That issue gets no mention in here.
It's
an
$11 book.
Let's say that's like a very good plus.
Very good plus. All right. Now we move on. Now we're getting really, this might actually be the beginning of the Kree-Skrull War. This is the Avengers issue number 91. Now this is a $10 book at a very good plus. The Kree Sentry shows up. There's Ronan the Accuser. Captain Marvel is BDSM. I think he's really mad that the Avengers showed up when the Sentry and Ronan were trying to have a party. And then the Avengers kind of crashed the party. No fun. $10, very good plus.
So technically 89 is the first part of the Kree.
Okay. Now this one's a big one, though. Okay, this is the Avengers issue 93. This is the Beachhead Earth. This is one of the big Kree-Skrull War issues. Now this one, actually, we had a copy months ago that was in decent condition. You actually got to look this one up. This one's priced here at $45.
Oh, this is not the one we have on the list.
No.
45. Oh, so that's like very fine plus.
Very fine plus. Okay, no, it looks like a gorgeous copy.
This is the last 50. Wait, I'm sorry. What issue is this?
This is 93.
93. Yeah. So this is Neil Adams cover art, and yeah.
It's not the end of it, because I know the end of the Kree-Skrull War is when Neil Adams quit.
I'm sorry. No. So $45. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sorry.
Fine. Okay. All right. That's fine now.
I was looking at the wrong one.
Man,
There's so many books on that page.
I trust you to help me out, and you embarrass me. I mean, God, I don't know what to do anymore, man. I can't trust you. I mean, you just leave me just
Marvel is BDSM.
Marvel is definitely BDSM. In fact, I literally have a Thor issue in there that is referred to as the Jane Foster BDSM cover. Okay, we have Avengers 102. This is a $9 book. The Vision and the Grim Reaper fight. And then we have, now this is a fun book. It's an iconic cover. We have Avengers 125. I think this is a fine plus or a very fine minus. It's at $30. It's issue 125. It is the Avengers fight Thanos. The very first time the Avengers actually fight Thanos.
Yeah, so it's a fine.
Fine. Okay. All right. And then right next to that, we have the Avengers 132 at $10. This is the issue where they seem to fight a lot of dead characters. One of the Avengers depicted on this cover will perish in this very issue, but which one? Okay, so let's throw it out there to the chat. You have Thor, Frankenstein, Iron Man, the Human Torch, some dude in a black outfit, and some woman in a random outfit.
Thank you, Duke. He's taking 93 and 125.
Oh, excellent.
Awesome.
Good stuff, Duke. Those are classic. Okay. Now we are going to talk about, I'll try not to talk too much about it, okay, because we can get into some really problematic areas, okay? And this is, Zane, and I hope you're still in the chat, buddy. This is the infamous Avengers 200. For anyone who is not aware of why Avengers 200, now we have two copies. One of them is fine at $8, and the other one is fine minus at $6. Mr. Williams was lucky enough when I was pricing these up. He came into the shop, and him and I started talking about this issue, and he picked up the very fine copy we have. It's a very fascinating issue. You get your George Perez and Terry Austin cover, just celebrating the Avengers and their 200th issue, and you could win a Toys R Us shopping spree, something that I'm convinced no one ever won. But there's a lot of controversy around this issue, to the point where you could argue it's one of the most controversial Marvel issues ever. Because I talked to a lot of guys who actually, this is from 1980, who actually read the issue as teenagers. And we're not talking about looking at what happens in this issue through 2021 eyes. We're talking about teenage boys in 1980 reading this issue and going, ooh, that's not right. This is the infamous issue. Okay, so let's give a little backstory real quick. David, and I always pronounce his name wrong, Micheline, whatever the case may be. He was building up this story where the Kree Supreme Intelligence, who was a flat-out villain, was going to use Ms. Marvel to help to create a Kree and human hybrid, okay? Well, Jim Shooter, in all of his wisdom, decided that Marvel had kind of already done that story in a what-if. So he was like, you can't do that. And good old Davey, he went, you know what, Jim? Screw you. I'm out. I'll do this weird thing that will totally just F you up. And this is the issue where Ms. Marvel, okay, there was a very famous feminist writer in the 80s who wrote a piece about this issue. And the title of the piece is The Rape of Ms. Marvel. Okay? I apologize. It's a very triggering term and all that kind of stuff. But this is the issue where Ms. Marvel has sex with a man who then gets her pregnant. And then after like 2 days after making love to this guy, she gives birth to her baby. And then suddenly the baby grows up really fast. And it is the guy she had sex with. So yes, and just so we're clear, the guy who's the name Marcus Immortus, who is the son of Immortus as well, he mentally manipulated Ms. Marvel, Carol Danvers, to allow her to, like, took away her consent, all that kind of stuff. It's very problematic. And so he not only rapes Ms. Marvel, but impregnates her with him. And the worst thing about it is that the Avengers, and the way this issue contextualizes the character, they kind of pity him. He's sort of like, oh, don't you feel bad for him? He's just this white dude who literally... And so Carol Danvers gets so pissed. She's like, you guys are bastards. Like, he literally raped me. I'm out. Chris Claremont got so angry about this issue, which would lead to him writing the Avengers Annual number 10, where he introduced Rogue. He used Mystique, who was introduced in Ms. Marvel, because Chris Claremont wrote a lot of Carol Danvers' Ms. Marvel books, and they completely ruined her character at this point. And so Claremont went, I'm gonna like rehabilitate her. And so that's where you get the very famous Avengers 10 annual. Carol Danvers leaves the Avengers for 30 years. I don't think it's until Kurt Busiek, during the Heroes Return storyline in the late 90s, early 2000s, he brought her back to the Avengers fold. I mean, we're talking over 20 years after this issue was produced. This issue is still considered one of the most controversial issues in all of Marvel history. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that one out there because it was one of those books I always heard about. I found a couple and I went, oh, let me really look at this. You know, maybe it's not as bad as we really think. It is gross. It is the way that they contextualize the lovemaking and stuff. It is awful. It was such a bad idea. It is a bad idea 40 years later. It was a bad idea 40 years ago. It was such a bad idea that teenage boys were like, what am I reading? So there we go.
So, all right. So this book has made some traction in the chat.
Okay.
All right. So Jason claimed it and then gave up his claim at some point. So then we get Ashley claimed it. And I believe Duke is the next in the chat to claim it. What we need is Ashley to decide which copy he wants because there's two different prices. And then Duke can have the version after that.
Fine at $8.
Fine at $8.
And fine minus at $6.
Fine minus at $6. And to Ashley, the Marvel UK, it's a Death Head bundle and a Death Wreck bundle.
Yes.
All right. So, gentlemen, let me know who wants it.
All right.
You can have the first appearance of this scumbag in this Avengers comic.
Yes. Again, you're probably buying it. It's got a beautiful, iconic George Perez, Terry Austin cover. It's gorgeous. And it is also an infamous issue in the history of the Marvel Universe.
So Ashley got the $8. Duke got the $6. Thank you, gentlemen.
Excellent. Thank you, fellas. And thank you, everyone, for listening to me because I was just so fascinated by the whole thing. And just, it was such an insane story. And again, I also thank Zainin. You helped to kind of give me some more details about this weird book.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's such an insane book. And again, when you go in and you actually look at the pages, you look at the panels, you're like, who thought this was a good idea? It's disgusting. And nothing's worse than when, like, he at first he's like, hey, Carol. And she's like, hey, you. And he's like, how you doing, Mom? Ew, what? Okay, let's take
a shower after that one.
Yeah, I know. All right, so let's get rid of the heaviness and just get into some fun bundles, okay? So the first fun bundles is the greatest superhero who was ever created, Cyclops.
Storm. That was Mr. Lime's answer to your question.
I
knew that.
I knew it was going to be that one, but I was just looking. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it. Storm's the best, man, especially Mohawk Storm. Okay, so here we go. This is the Cyclops bundle, issue 1 through 8. Now, in regards to the continuity of the character, this is still the young, all-new X-Men version of Cyclops, who was brought from the past to the future by Beast to tell his future self, Cyclops, that he's being a real prick about stuff. This was during the whole Avengers vs. X-Men and Utopia, where Cyclops was getting a little bit too dictatorial. But around this time, young Jean Grey and young Hank McCoy started a relationship. Young Iceman came out as gay. Angel was messing around with Wolverine's female clone, X-23, and Cyclops felt really alone. And so Cyclops decided to go into space to hang out with his deadbeat dad and do fun stuff. Now, the neat thing about this is Greg Rucka wrote this series, but Russell Dauterman, who I mostly know from Jason Aaron's Thor, specifically the Jane Foster Thor, did some amazing art. But this is Cyclops issue 1 through 8. It's a complete story arc. There's Cyclops making out with some aliens, little quirky. But anyway, this retails for $32, but we got it here for $12. All right. Next up is earlier, if anyone was watching, we had a little first appearance of the Hood. So this was during the Dark Reign storyline. The Dark Reign was the storyline post-Secret Invasion where Norman Osborn became the new head of S.H.I.E.L.D., changed it to a hammer, got access to all Tony Stark's armor, all that kind of stuff. Well, this was the miniseries that reintroduced the Hood, doing his hoodie stuff. So this is issue 1 through 5. And then back here, we have the Dark Reign series Lethal Legion. You got your Grim Reaper, you got Absorbing Man, you had, what is this vampire woman? I'm flaking on her name right now. You got Mr. Hyde, Grey Gargoyle. But they were kind of doing their own thing because they were allowed to get away with it because Norman Osborn was the top cop in the country. So anyway, you get 8 issues. This is a 5-issue miniseries, 3-issue miniseries. Retails for $32. We got it here for $12. And then right next to that is, during that era, you had a Thunderbolts book, which would be later renamed to Dark Avengers. That's where you get the Son of Hulk, you get the new Venom, you get the Thor clone, all that kind of good stuff. Jeff Parker, Duncan Shalvey did the art. I kind of became more aware of him during the Warren Ellis Moon Knight run. His art was brilliant. So the Thunderbolts series up until issue 174 was called Thunderbolts. With this issue at 175, they renamed it the Dark Avengers, and we got a lot of really cool villains pretending to be, heroes, and Luke Cage at the same time was building up his own Thunderbolts team. They were all going to get into a big old fight. So anyway, this is the first story arc of this new series. This is issue 175 to 181. Retails for $21. We're selling it for $9. And then right behind that one is issue number 182 to 189. This is where you get the Thunderbolts versus the Dark Avengers. And that's where you get Luke Cage, you get Juggernaut, you got Man-Thing, you got Moonstone, you got some dude, Boomerang, a bunch of characters. So anyway, 182 to 189. This is a $24 bundle that we're selling tonight for $10.
Mr. Williams is taking them both.
Excellent.
We'll see you guys after the break.
Oh, it's break time again.
Break. back, everybody.
Welcome back. I'm still putting up stuff. I hope you like my butt. All right. Okay. So, we are back. We are Fat Jack's Comicrypt. This show is sometimes referred to as the Latchkey Manifesto. Thank you for joining us for our final segment.
Or up against the wall.
Or Up Against the Wall.
In some circles.
Or the Spandex Empire. But we will get sued by DuPont.
Or the what's the name of that band they used to tell people?
Oh, Cobras, Cougars, and Ninjas.
That's right.
There you go. Roland Vale here. Or what was the one we had with Ben? 2 guys in a hat?
That one I don't know about.
Because we were really drunk those nights.
2 guys and a hat.
2 guys in a hat. Guess who the hat was? It wasn't him and I. We don't really wear hats, I guess.
Remember when the hat yelled at us?
Yeah, oh, I definitely remember when the hat yelled at us.
Stop listening to me. Shout out to Ben if he's watching.
Oh, yeah. I bet he's watching. By the way. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so we're just gonna fool around here. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, we've heard one person say, "Where are the war comics?" I don't know why they're asking for war comics, but we have some war comics. Specifically, we have a bunch of Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos. So again, I'm going to go through them pretty quickly just to kind of give everyone an idea of what we have here. Condition-wise, I think most of these are floating in the very good range. Considering looking at some of the condition and stuff like that, that's probably what we're looking at. Some of these that get up into like more the $9 range and stuff, probably more like fine minus.
I don't think any of these, because Mike had some of these on. I don't think anyone get past fine for sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but if anyone has any like serious questions about condition, obviously we'll look them up for you. But let's just be as quick as possible about this. This first one is Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos, issue number 14. This is $9. Now again, stress, little tear there, little creasing here. Now I know for a fact this is probably closer to very good, even though it's $9, because it is the first appearance of Baron Strucker's Blitzkrieg Squad, which was obviously the opposite of Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. So there we go. Next up behind that is Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos, issue number 24, graded at $5. Now this one is the most unusual howler thriller of all, and really it just looks like it's Hogan's Heroes. Right next to that is Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, issue number 30, The Great Surrender, The Incident in Italy. So there we go. That's a $5 book. Yeah, again, I bet you that's like very good.
Honestly, most of these are just good.
Or like good, yeah.
These books carry some weight, fellas.
Yeah, they do. And here we go. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, issue number 43, The Scourge of the Sahara. They're fighting Rommel. It's $5.
Oh, 43?
Yeah.
Oh, you get a Bob Hope and a Glenn Miller appearance in that one.
What? Bob Hope and Glenn Miller?
And Glenn Miller appearance.
Wow. Who would have thought it? In fact, does anyone know who those 2 guys were?
Does anybody in the chat?
No, again, we're talking about probably mostly
Everybody in the
middle-aged
chat
men.
does. Probably everybody that's not watching the chat.
Yeah. You probably know Bob Hope is. Glenn Miller, maybe. Yeah, who knows? Anyway, Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, issue number 53, $7 to the Bastions of Bavaria. They're attacking Munich. Fury's Flight for Freedom. $7. All right. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, issue number 54, Izzy Shoots the Works, which sounds like a really bad porno. $9.
Who's that, Severin?
Dick Ayers and John Severin. Yeah, that's a pretty cool cover. Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos, Liberty Rides the Underground, issue number 66, $5.50. I have no idea where the 50 cents comes from. Oh, and we have another $5.50. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, issue number 67, $5.50, with a little help from my friends. Not to be confused with the Beatles song. And then we have issue number 68, Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, $6. Welcome home, soldier. Looks like someone's going to shoot Nick. And it looks like Jack Ruby.
Cool. Can you pass me the Bob Hope issue, which was
43. Yes.
43. Thank you, Duke.
All right, Duke. Cool.
Bob Hope fan.
That's a fun one. Yeah.
I like that.
Nah, it's probably more of a Glenn Miller fan.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to step up to the next level, which is Doctor Strange. Okay. So here we go. So the first one. Now this one has a little bit of story to it that I think is kind of funny. Okay. This is Doctor Strange, issue number 179. Now this is a very good copy at $10. The very good. Big crease. Obviously, the spine is a little rolled. Teeny tear there. But anyway, the first thing that's kind of neat about this issue is that's a Barry Windsor Smith cover. And this is pre-Conan. So that's pretty neat. But the thing that's kind of funny about this issue, you see how it says guest starring Spider-Man? All right, so at the time, Gene Colan was illustrating Doctor Strange. And Gene Colan got sick. And so he was not able to complete the pages for Doctor Strange 179. So Marvel, in its infinite wisdom, did what Marvel did and put on a new cover and then put a reprint into the book. Now, so what this issue reprints, because technically Steve Ditko and Stan Lee are the writer and the artist for this issue, even though they have no connection to this era of Doctor Strange at all. But the reason why Lee and Ditko are in this issue again is because technically it is a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 2, where Doctor Strange guest starred in the annual. So obviously when Gene Colan was not able to make his deadline because he was sick, they reprinted Amazing Spider-Man Annual 2 and put it in Doctor Strange 179. Now, next up is Doctor Strange, issue number 14. This is a very fine minus copy at $10. Now, this issue is part of the Marv Wolfman, Gene Colan crossover with Tomb of Dracula. So you had Doctor Strange, issue number 14, and then I believe it's Tomb of Dracula 44, maybe 45, but it was like a 3-part crossover. This is the Doctor Strange portion of the crossover. The Sorcerer Supreme battles the Lord of Vampires to the death and beyond. See, again, Buzz Lightyear. He stole it from this cover. Next up, we have Doctor Strange, issue number 20. I have no idea what the condition of this is. I do know that the universe goes mad. I do know that Xander the Merciless is part of that madness, but I don't know why it is priced at $6.50. I have no idea where this 50 cents keeps coming from. But here we go. Doctor Strange, issue number 20, $6.50. Next up, we have Doctor Strange, issue number 41, The Maelstrom at the Center of Time. This is a crossover with Man-Thing. Now, again, for whatever reason, the condition isn't put here, but it looks like it's in very good condition. It's a Bob Layton, Curtis Janson cover. This is from 1980. It's only $5.
Is the issue 14 was the only crossover with Tomb of Dracula?
I believe so. I believe it was one issue of Doctor Strange and 2 issues of Tomb of Dracula. But now that I'm saying that, I'm afraid there might be 2 issues of Doctor Strange and 2 issues of Tomb of Dracula. In fact, we might even have the Tomb of Dracula crossover. So if anyone is interested, I will take a quick moment to go into and find to see if we have those Tomb of Dracula crossovers. So if anyone is interested, hit us up in the chat.
Well, thank you. Duke's going to pick it up. He wanted this issue.
Cool.
To Ashley, I'm afraid Duke got the Bob Hope issue right before you asked for it. And to Mr. Williams, how much did you pay for Strange Academy? Give us like a ballpark. I don't want to put your business out there. I'm just curious.
Strange Academy number 1?
He managed to get a copy. It was expensive, but was it like $20, $30?
Yeah, let us know. We're kind of curious.
Just like a rough.
It's a weird book.
And I haven't seen a copy since the first issue.
And so next up, we have Doctor Strange, issue number 60. This is another. Now, again, this wasn't a full-on crossover with Tomb of Dracula, the book. But here we have obviously Dracula shows up. This is part of the Darkhold storyline, where they were really starting to introduce the concept of the Darkhold, which obviously would be a bigger concept later in the 80s and especially in the 90s with a lot of the Midnight Suns storylines in regards to Ghost Rider and the Spirits of Vengeance and the Night Stalkers and Blade and all that kind of stuff. But here you get Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel helping out Doctor Strange as Dracula's coming calling. Now, this is a fine copy at $5.
We do have, you said it was 2 issues of Tomb of Dracula?
Maybe, but actually, bring out all the Tomb of Draculas.
Well,
Yeah, it's just
This one, Duke's interested in the Doctor Strange.
okay.
Let me see if we have it.
All right. So here, let's talk about some of these Tomb of Draculas we have here. Okay. So the first one I'll bring out is the one that is connected to the Doctor Strange storyline. Okay. So this is issue number 44. As you can see, Doctor Strange. It's a very psychedelic cover. Also, you get Blade guest stars in this issue. This is still Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan, who are also the writer and artist of Doctor Strange. They were sort of doing both books at the same time, so it was very easy for them to mix it together. In fact, if you ever purchase a Doctor Strange collection from this era, these issues of Tomb of Dracula will almost always be included. So there we go. Now, this is a fine plus copy at $14. It's actually a really gorgeous copy, and this is like one of those covers I really love. I don't know if the image really kind of sells it well.
That might be the only issue he shows up in, because on the Epic, it just lists 44.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I thought it was 2 issues. Maybe it wasn't.
So, Duke, if you're interested, to the best of our knowledge, that's the only issue that crosses over, but just let us know.
Yeah, and we can always look it up. Okay, speaking of Tomb of Dracula, let's do a few more that we have here. Here we have the Tomb of Dracula, issue number 5. Now, this is a $15 book. I think it looks gorgeous. There's probably nothing super key about it, which is why, despite the fact that looking beautiful, it's not more valuable. But still, $15, Tomb of Dracula, number 5. Right behind that is the Tomb of Dracula, issue number 22. Now, this is a fine plus copy at $10. This is where Dracula fights Gorna, Lord of the Living Lightning. Gorna. So, think about that. His name is Gorna. Next up is the Tomb of Dracula, issue number 29. This is the issue where the vampire goes mad. It's a rampage of blood. Okay, now, for anyone who's never read Tomb of Dracula, there's a lot of supporting characters that are very, very, very important to the series, but they don't really seem to be relevant outside of the Tomb of Dracula book. But with that said, 2 of those characters that are very important to this series, they are killed in this issue. This is issue number 29. It's $12. I'm pretty sure this is like a fine plus or a very fine minus. All right. Are you looking for something?
Do you have that Doctor Strange 44?
Tomb of Dracula 44.
Tomb of Dracula 44.
Yep. There you go. That cover is gorgeous.
And then do you have a Doctor Strange number 5?
No, I have a Tomb of Dracula number 5.
Okay, that's what's throwing me. Okay, so yeah, can I get the Tomb of Dracula number 5 also?
Yep. There you go.
Thank you, Duke.
All right, Duke. Killing it, man.
Crushing it.
All right, next up is Tomb of Dracula number 51, fine plus at $10. Dracula fights Blade, and he kills Blade in this issue. But just for the sake of spoilers, it's not the real Blade. But still. Next up is the Tomb of Dracula, issue number 52. Comicdom's number 1 fear magazine. Who is the demon Dracula fears? It's that guy. And he's sort of Dracula's son. And it's kind of convoluted. And for whatever reason, they're on the Coney Island Cyclone ride. What the hell is Dracula doing on the Cyclone? Do you think he stopped by Nathan's and picked up some hot dogs? So there you go. It's a fine plus copy at $10. All right. Now, this next one is actually pretty fun. If you're not too all right, so let me try to remember. All right, so this is Tomb of Dracula number 70, which is the very final issue of Tomb of Dracula. It's a double-sized issue, 1979. It's a triumphant climax of the greatest Dracula story of all, and it's the death of the Night Stalker. And I'm pretty sure he does die in this issue. This is a $13 book at fine. Now,
you get the death of Dracula, the death of Quincy Harker, and this is the final issue. You get art not used for issues 70 to 72 would later be published in the Essential.
So that was an anecdote I wanted to say. All right, so when issue 70 was done, there were already pages and scripts done for issue 71, 72, and I think 73. Yeah. It was multiple issues, but for whatever reason, even though the work was kind of done, Marvel decided to pull the plug on the book with issue number 70, which they did. But there were still these pages and these scripts that were done. So the only time those issues have ever been reprinted was in Essential Tomb of Dracula, Volume 3. That is the only time. And in fact, that's why if you look for the Essential number 3 of Tomb of Dracula, it has some value. Not only is it out of print, but it's the only time those final 3 issues were actually published. And for whatever reason, I don't think they've done an Epic collection yet, but that Essential Volume 3, the only time, those final, and that's all Gene Colan artwork. There's a final page in that last issue, 70, that is gorgeous. In fact, Gene Colan, maybe I'm wrong, maybe in certain circles he gets a lot more love, but his artwork was just so gorgeous, and I just feel he's not really talked about as much. But c'est la vie. Some of the greatest runs of late 70s art, Gene Colan on Doctor Strange and Tomb of Dracula. Good stuff.
So, Duke, you got 29 and 51. Lord Howard Hurts, you got number 70.
Nice.
Ashley, I'll pick you out a Sergeant Fury and whatever, a good copy.
You looking like you got a certain price or
He
anything?
said, pick me out a good copy.
Okay, all right.
So I'll pick you out the most expensive one we have.
Well, if I was gonna I'm not saying it because it's $9 and it's a couple bucks more than the others, but issue number 14, it's cool because it's the first appearance of the anti-Howling Commandos. So you have Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos versus Baron Strucker and the Blitzkrieg Squad. So that's kind of neat, just comics being comics. Okay, so let's move on real quick to a few bundles. The first thing I'm going to say, we have a huge bundle run here, but I'm not going to talk about each one individually because technically speaking, it's an entire series. Back in the early 2010s or so, Kurt Busiek and Mark Bagley, who had just recently become a part of DC, stopped working for Marvel for the first time in 20 some odd years, 30 years. He started working for DC. And one of the first books he did with Kurt Busiek is this weekly series, Trinity. So you have Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman. And they pretty much go through time and they go through different realities and there's different versions of themselves. So each of these bundles actually constitutes 6 issues of the 52-issue series. So this is actually a complete series right here. And each of the books is 6 issues. They retail for around $18 and they're all $7. Now, the only exception to that is the final 2 bundles. I know, because I forgot while I was saying it. The final 2 bundles are actually 5 issues each, which makes them $6.
No,
So you have 9 chapters of an entire 52-issue series.
So Mr. Williams is claiming all the Trinity bundles.
Really? Oh.
It says claim Trinity. You want every Trinity bundle, or is there just the beginning?
Yeah, just let us know because there's 9 of them.
Because that's a lot. We'll give you a bundle price if you claim all 9 bundles.
If you claim all 9, we'll make a deal. We'll make a deal.
We'll make it worth it.
Yeah. In fact, if you're interested, what do you want to do?
He's taking them all. What are they priced at?
$7.60. You want to do 5 each one?
How many are there? 9?
There's 9 of them. So what's that? 9 at 5? Is that $40?
$45.
It's 45. Let's do 40.
We'll do 40 even for all 9 bundles. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
40 even for all of them.
We won't go any lower than that.
They're out of print. And when the trades were out, I think if you got the whole series in trade, it was almost $100.
That's the perfect of what this show is. He said, "I'll take them all," and we're like, "Oh, we'll give it to you for a lower price."
Yeah, I know. We're idiots. I don't know why Mike allows us. Yeah,
Mr. Hunter, you want another free bundle?
So there you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Mr. Williams, thank you for your
Cool.
generosity.
Yeah, good stuff. So you get 52 issues for only $40. That's pretty nice. That's less than $1 a book.
I imagine we should probably do a couple more of these Trinity bundles.
I'm pretty sure we could. Okay, so we're going to do, these are 2 bundles. Okay, now this was on the local show and earlier in the Experience show, we talked a little bit about the Heroes for Hire volume that occurred from the Civil War. Well, soon after that volume was done, they reintroduced the Heroes for Hire, and this is where we get this is from the Abnett and Lanning duo, who would later stop writing together. Who knows why they broke up? But anyway, they even get some early Kev Walker art. I don't know if people are familiar with him, but he's a pretty good artist. There's a friend of mine, Juan. He loves Kev Walker. But this was the team where, like, this is an epic team for the Heroes for Hire. You get Ghost Rider, you get Punisher, you get Moon Knight, you get Elektra, and you get Iron Fist. Now, this is from 2011. This is issue 1 through 5. It's a complete story arc. It's a $20 bundle, but we're selling it tonight for $8. And then right behind that, you get Heroes for Hire, issue number 6 through 12. Now, this is a $21 bundle. We're selling for $8. But this is when, in the series, the other Heroes for Hire team comes back. And that's your Misty Knight, your Colleen Wing, your Paladin, all that kind of stuff. But Moon Knight still sticks around. Silver Sable shows up to join the team. Iron Fist is still punching people with whatever his stupid power is. But anyway, a complete story arc. Yeah, like I said, it's only $8. And then we had a lot of Hulk earlier. So just to finish that out, this was part of the Jeff Parker, Gabrielle Hardman run of the Red Hulk. So here we do. This is a complete story arc. This is issues number 39 through 46. Again, it's a $24 bundle. We're selling for $10. This is also where you get the storyline, The Hulk of Arabia.
Did Gabrielle Hardman do the interior art?
Oh, yeah. No, it's awesome. Yeah. It isn't until, I think, Hulk of Arabia, I think, is when Hardman left the book, and Patrick Zircher, Zircher, that's when he ended up on the book. So anyway, $10. And then right behind that is the final story arc of the Hulk series, the Red Hulk series. And so here we have, oh, actually, no, it's not. It's not the final one. It's the penultimate one. I do have the final one. But anyway, here's Hulk issue number 47, where the Red Hulk fights the Red She-Hulk. So Daddy fights daughter. And then you also get Haunted Hulk, where Hulk fights a bunch of Legion of Monster characters. Werewolf by Night, Morbius, the random Marvel Mummy character. Anyway, it's an $18 bundle, but we're selling it for $7. And just to finish out the set, for the sake of completion, and I thought it was right here, and now, oh yeah, here it is. All right, good. So I'm not wasting too much time. This is the final story arc of the Red Hulk series. This is the Mayan Rule story arc. This is issue number 53 for $57. That's the final Red Hulk issue. Is this the end of Hulk? Yes, it is. We all know that. It's a $15 bundle, but we're selling it tonight for $6.
We're just about up against it.
Oh, we are up against it? Okay.
We got a couple minutes left, but just,
Couple minutes, we should just start.
Like 3 minutes. So we should probably
let's just start saying goodbye.
We'll just call it.
Again, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you to everyone who has claimed and purchased the book tonight. We really appreciate it. Again, without you guys, this is pointless for us. Kind of defeats the whole purpose.
And there we go. He's claiming the Red Hulk bundles.
Oh, excellent. All right.
Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Man, you had a bundle heavy night tonight, buddy.
I don't think we have a box big enough for all your stuff today.
We're going to have to make a long box just for all your bundles.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work.
But anyway, everyone, next week, if anyone was watching our local show tonight, next Sunday, we're not doing a local show, but I should be back in time to do the experience at 6 o'clock next week. If, God forbid, I'm not able to make it, Fat Jacks will definitely have a show next week for the experience from 6 to 8. If I don't get to make it, then it'll be Alan Mike here holding up the fort. So again, I hope to see you all next week. Really appreciate all this kind of stuff. And,
You going to wear a suit?
Yeah, I'll probably be wearing a suit because I'm going to be coming from a baptism, christening, whatever it is, whatever these people do.
Wow.
I know.
For the love of family.
For the love of family, yes, yeah, family thing,
Don't forget to check us out, Mike and myself, tomorrow from 12 to 1 on the Comic Book Shopping Network on Facebook. And from 4 to 6, same deal, Comic Book Shopping Network. Tuesday from 10 to 12. Comic Book Shopping Network on Facebook. Check us out. We'll have some of the same books with different books. Mike has a whole other thing going on.
Yeah, you would think we would know this routine by now.
I mean, yeah.
But anyway,
thank you
everyone,
everybody. Yeah.
have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Be well. Enjoy the next show coming up on The Experience. Peace.
Shout out to Aaron and Tampa.